Good morning. Good morning. Um, it's Monday, and I'm really happy to be back and offering Rise and Shine for you. So it looks like everything's set up, and let's get started. Let's get started. Last night, oh, someone's here. Hey, Emma. Good morning. It's nice to have you join. Thank you for being here. It's nice to be back, at least today. We're not going to camp today, so we have some time. And let's start seated. So, everybody just kind of rolled out of, well, they're starting to roll out of bed, so it's a little bit busy for the moment, but it'll settle. So just go ahead and start to find your seat. And as you do, you might just rock a little bit forward and back until you really feel like you're right in the center between the pubic bone and the tailbone and then the two sits bones. Good. Let's just stretch the arms out for a moment. Get really long through the sides of the body. And as you exhale, bring your palms together right in front of the heart space. Take a few full breaths in through your nose and out your mouth. Allow for the sounds in your space and in my space, in this space between us. Notice the energy that is flowing or not flowing, where there's blocks perhaps. And notice where there's ease in your body and your mind. So last night was the full moon. It's a pinnacle moment in the lunar cycle, following an eclipse. So just perhaps notice in yourself the sense of coming perhaps to a peak. And now we're on the other side of it into the waning. We begin to move into the release phase. What within you right now can be released? Maybe it's just your shoulders or your jaw. Maybe it's a thought pattern, a relationship, an attachment, an unnecessary attachment. So whatever you're releasing right now, we're all releasing something. We're all growing something. It's this continuous spiral of cycles. Let's connect with that. And set your intention for this practice. And on your next exhale breath, just bow your head towards your heart, welcoming. You can release your hands. You can open your eyes. Okay. So let's start with a little bit of breath, and then we'll go into some movement. So we'll just take a few rounds of the Parvati's Lotus, which is where we inhale to the crown and exhale to the base. And you can imagine as you're doing so, or really connect with the feeling of rooting on the exhale and rising, and that blooming on the inhale. Another way to think about it is with the moon, with the exhale, at the end of the exhale, the new moon, that darkness, and then the full brightness of the full moon at the top of the inhale, as you wish. Just beginning with the exhale. Letting the breath be a way to clear any holding, any restrictions. Also a way of just giving information. What is here now? You can follow the next exhale out completely. And just drop your chin one more time towards your chest. Take a few easy half circles for the head. Keeping a nice long spine. And if it would feel good to you to make a full circle or a few full circles, you can elevate through the chin. Switch directions. Next time you come back through center, lift up your head, look over to the right side. Maybe just walk your fingers out to the left. And back to the center, other side. Opposite fingers out to the side. And back to center. Float the arms up again, this time interlace through the fingers and just lengthen sides of the body. Feel a little bit of lift coming from the base, below the navel. And exhaling, hands to your knees. You can change the crossing of your legs. So this practice that pranayama will do will be more suitable for someone on their menstrual cycle. That's me. If that's not you, you can just also enjoy this as a more centering, more, let's just say, light pranayama. Good. As you come back, finding the center, we'll take the Anuloma Viloma. So we'll just breathe in a third below the navel, a third from navel to sternum, and a third from sternum to collarbones, to up in the upper lungs. And then on the exhale, all the way out. I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. So third, all one inhale, and then exhaling all the way out. We'll do that about 4 or 5 times. Okay. So you can start when you're ready. You can use your hands also, or just your awareness. Make sure you're breathing into the back body as well. Two more rounds. The end of the last exhale, let your natural breath return. Notice the effect. And open your eyes. You can come to lie down for a moment. So it can be nice just to take a really short but sweet pause in between. Sorry, Emma, we're negotiating electronic usage over here. Go ahead, stretch your arms long. Hug your thumbs, reach out through your feet. And then go ahead, bring your feet down. So here, I'm gonna just take moving bridge, but you can incorporate the Uddiyana Bandha after a few rounds if you like. So as you inhale, you'll lift up your seat, reach your arms back. And on the exhale, lower down. One vertebra at a time, slowly. Later, we'll do it at the end. I'll do it with you. And then next time, if you want to take the Uddiyana Bandha, you'll lift up, exhale your breath out completely, and then lower your seat down. Holding the breath out. When you reach down, you'll release your belly and inhale breath. So it's inhale to rise up. Exhale, breath out completely. Holding breath out. Lower down your seat first. Keep your arms stretched. Feel the scoop and the tone in the lower belly. And then as you are ready to release, release your belly. Inhale. And then exhale, arms come down. Yeah, I think that's too loud. Good. Try it one more time on your own. And then you can pull both knees into your chest. Give yourself a good squeeze. And just start to make some little circles with your knees. Maddie, please, please find something else to do. Good. And go the other way. And then let's keep the left knee into the chest. You can extend your right leg. Toes are active. Take your foot up to the sky. Roll through the ankle. And then half happy baby here. taking hold of the toe or the outer edge of your foot. Little pumps here. And then coming still for a few breaths. Breathe wide into the side ribs. Maverick, please go do something else. This is the thing about shared spaces, isn't it? Oh my goodness. You can bring your left knee over. Just take a little twist. I keep saying I'll do this earlier, but then the problem is I wake everyone up. So what I actually normally do my practice is much earlier than, not much, but about an hour earlier than this. Good. Come back to the center. Hug both knees into your chest. You can make your circles again if you like. And then we'll keep the right knee in. Hands interlaced for a moment around the shin. Really squeezing in. And then take your foot up to the sky. Lengthen through the back of the leg. You can roll through the ankle. Bend your knee. Half happy baby, Ardha Ananda Balasana. Little pressing up through your foot. Just feel here, again, that releasing. Can you let some of the need to hold, can you let that go? And also here, you know, the hand is holding on to the toe, but can you use a bit the muscle to keep your knee close in to your arm? And then release your foot. Shift your seat just slightly over to the right as the knee comes over to the left. Taking the right shoulder to the earth. Come back into the center. One more time, pull both knees into your chest. And let's rock a little bit forward and back. Coming up. Just come to sit for a moment. Dandasana, hands right by your hips. Press down into the mat and lengthen through the sides. Float the arms up. As you exhale, just twist yourself, arms out to the side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, other side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale one more time. And this time you can bring your left hand behind you. Take your right hand to the outside of your legs. If you feel like you're really rocking back, sit up on a blanket. And come back to the center, switch. And come back to the center. Take your hands back behind you, fingertips onto the ground. You can bend your knees, lift up tabletop. Lengthening on the inhale, lowering down on the exhale. One more time, coming up. Really feel the connection through the index finger knuckle, through the fingertips. If it feels okay to let your head fall back, do. But Emma, for you, I keep looking forward, especially for the neck. You can really widen your hands here, widen with your breath. And then come down. Either take boat pose, and if that feels like it's too much, just cross your arms and fold forward, release your head. Or do a bit of both. Collarbones wide, maybe legs lengthen. And then you can cross your ankles and come back. Toes together, knees wide. Child's pose. Inhale, come back up to all fours. You can tuck your toes here and just make a few really nice circles. Go both directions. And from here, let's just lift up through the knees. Come to down dog. Take a moment to walk out through the backs of your legs. Pause as you need to. Maybe come up onto your fingertips. And then walk your feet forward, walk your hands back to meet your feet. Take a nice forward fold. You can hold onto your elbows. Bend your knees generously for a moment. Really release. Maybe even a little bounce. And then as you start to straighten the legs, you can bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, coming all the way up. Up. You can almost see me. Good. So let's come to stand for a moment. You can just bring your feet as wide as your hips, coming into mountain pose. Feel the support rising up through the legs, crown of the head over base. It's tuning in with where there's flow and where there's restriction. Breath, body, mind. Inhale, float the arms up, palms touch overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, long spine, right foot forward, left foot back. Back knee down. Inhale, arms floating up. Exhale, hands down. Pull your hips back. Keep your front toes off the earth, your back toes touch. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, back to dog. From dog, coming forward through plank, knees to the earth, chest between your hands, chin to the ground, rising up. Little cobra, coming back, child's pose. Full breath in child's. Inhale to rise back up to all fours. Exhale, dog. Pick up your right foot, bring it forward, back knee down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to the earth. Shift your hips back, toes towards your nose. Well, more nose towards your knee. Inhale to come through and step forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift halfway, hands to shins, long spine. Exhale to fold. Inhale to float all the way up. Hands towards the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart. Just a couple more easy like this. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, long spine. Left foot back. Exhale, knee down. Lengthen the back toes this time. Float the arms up. Exhale, bowing. Inhaling, coming through. Downward facing dog. Plank. Knees, chest, chin. Heart lengthening. Child's. Follow the breath in. Back to all fours and then dog. Pick up your right foot, step it through. Back, knee down. Lengthen your back toes. Feel the toes really ground in so that that back line has support. Hands to the earth. Reach back through your hips. Keep active through that leg, just that you're not jamming on your knee joint. And then coming forward, Uttanasana. Maybe this time reaching hands back behind you. Find space on your inhale and fold on your exhale. Floating up, inhale breath. Exhaling, hands to heart. You want to bring in just a tiny little back bend on the inhale. You can exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen, step your left foot back again. Bring your back knee down and just turn your toes over to the side of your mat. Yeah, so they're pointing to the right side. Float the arms up, spread your arms wide. And then as you inhale, straighten your front leg, touch the earth with your back hand and reach that arm alongside your ear. Take a breath or two here. You can try lifting your toes, see how that feels. And then on your inhale, coming all the way back up. Exhale to turn your toes back, folding forward over that front leg. Coming through center, step back to dog. Flow through plank. You can keep your knees up this time, lower all the way down. Cobra. Dog. Pick up your left foot, step it through. Turn the toes off to the side, float up. Just pausing for a moment, it's a warrior-ish. It's a nice, really grounded warrior. Just feel what happens when you really press through that front heel. And then as you extend your front leg, reach your fingertips to the ground. Reach that left arm alongside the ear. Staying for a few breaths, keeping your hips squeezing gently towards each other, and just find that heart can start to turn towards the sky. I'm going to support my head here. To come back up, find your center line. Really your hands down, turn your toes back, straight behind you, folding in. Coming through the lunge, and then last time back to Uttanasana. And this time maybe you bring the hands behind your calves. Release the top of the head. Inhale to lengthen now, and then as you exhale, bend your knees, come to sit down into a squat. Ooh. Or don't. So, but try to come into a squat where your armpits can rest onto your knees. So you may have to widen your feet a little bit like I did. You can interlace your fingers, extend your index fingers out. Move the shoulders away from the ears. Pause your jaw. Good. And then if it feels good to you, just a little bit of bounce here, if you can manage. I'm just kind of waking up. Keep squeezing knees in. Good. Come to stillness and then just come to sit down all the way. You can bring your feet together. Knees wide. While we're here for a moment in Baddha Konasana, I'll read you a favorite poem. It's a Hafiz from this one, The Gift. Hafiz. Now is the time. Now is the time to know that all you do is sacred. Now, why not consider a lasting truce with yourself and God? Now is the time to understand that all your ideas of right and wrong were just a child's training wheels to be laid aside when you can finally live with veracity and love. Let's pause there for a sec. All those ideas of right and wrong, training wheels. We need them for a time until we don't. Hafiz is a divine envoy whom the beloved has written a holy message upon. My dear, please tell me, why do you still throw sticks at your heart and God? What is it in that sweet voice inside that incites you to fear? Now is the time for the world to know that every thought and action is sacred. This is the time for you to deeply compute the impossibility that there is anything but grace. Now is the season to know that everything you do is sacred. Just walk your hands forward, bow down to that. Everything you do is sacred. How is this posture, this breath, this thought, how is it expressing the sacredness? Go ahead, come back up. Let's take one leg out, one leg in. I have my right leg out. Those blocks, the restrictions, they're just like the training wheels. Yeah, they're just the restrictions, not just, they are restrictions of this flow of divine. So that's why, at least that's why I wake up and do these moves. Just that this body, what Hafiz calls the divine envoy, that it's able to receive life as it flows through. So we just have our opposite arm to the foot, the hand out to the side. Nice full breaths in this whole side body. As you come up, you can place your left hand behind you, pick up the hips, point out through your toes. Start to turn the chest up towards the sky. You can catch the back of your head, or if you have space, stretch your arm out. Come down, switch sides. As you find yourself steady through your sits bones, just reach your opposite arm over. If you don't quite catch your foot, you can always use a strap, or you could bring your hand to the outer edge of your shin. And just feel where you can bring awareness into your left hip and how that can help turn the chest so that you're really facing this leg. It's just this kind of constant conversation, dialogue with breath. And so as you're lifting up, just feeling where you can find support from within, but also where you can just release. A little crowded today in my bookshelf. When you're ready, come back. Take both legs out. Again, please sit up on something if you find that you're rocking back more towards your tailbone. And take your fingers interlace. Nice generous circles around. Legs are active. Going the other way, change the crossing of your fingers. And last time, just pausing for a moment in the center. You might also like to reach out and find the outer edge of your feet, lift up a little bit, shoulder blades pressing onto the back, heart wide. And slowly floating back up. Bring your legs back together. Find your cushion. Find your seat. Take a drink. Let's just sit for a moment and tune in. The flow and the restriction, what's changed. So sometimes when we move, we actually often, when we move, we create more or different tension. So for example, I'm noticing left shoulder blade has a bit more tension. I can feel the pain the pulling that is sometimes there. So just to be aware that, part of life, what happens is even in the intention and in the direction of freedom, we create tension, restriction, but that's also part of growth. Just feeling into your body or into your mind, maybe a thought, something that feels closing has actually come in instead of opening. And just shedding again and again light of awareness. Bring your palms together. Let's close with a simple mantra, the Gayatri mantra. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargavo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodaya Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. So nice to share with you, Emma. A little funny to be on either side of the screen, each of us, in this way. But we see each other soon, via Zoom, maybe in person. And for those that will watch this later, sending you lots of love and wishing you, you're welcome, Emma, wishing you a wonderful day.